All right, so July 6th, another fire word today. Really, 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 really happy with the word. First, we gonna
Pay
Miles.
attention.
Miles, what was your I am paying attention. Miles, what was your church about today?
So
People were saying I did not check in with Miles last week, and they was not happy.
He was doing some stuff. He was everything what we used to do. He was actually keeping this day until 3 a.m.
What did you learn about in church
What did you learn
today?
about in church?
So the about God can do everything and God can still and God just knows people and who tells people what to say sometimes because he tells everybody and they do what Jesus tells them to do.
Do you do what Jesus tells you to
They can have
do?
another chance, 6 chances, or how many chances you want. Like, you can have 2 chances, 1 chance, 1 chances. You can take like 4 chances. Exactly. I think I know, but did I just say the police?
That's the first guy we saw the police get. Hopefully they wasn't on their way to church. Today gonna be a good word for them though.
There is police at church.
Well, it sounds like you learned a lot of good stuff today in your church.
And I realized that some stuff are possible, some stuff are not possible, some stuff are good, some stuff are bad, but you never know. We was having some of the kids was in the teacher's spots, and some of the kids was in other kids' spots, and some of the kids are at my spots. So the reason is Arwen was in the teacher's spot and my spot, and then they're gone in everybody else's spot. When they're gone, they're all gone, and then Arwen picked every single chair, and then Frozen all with them, and guess what? And then we got all stuff until we opened the door. Then there's still a lot of her because. And then when I left, when I was about to leave, there's not a lot of arms.
They love the Miles rambles. I did not know they love them.
I have no idea what that store is doing, but there's a lot of them.
Miles, we're talking about church. Okay, you.
Well, it's not like you had a good message from what you talked about. Well, that God knows everybody.
Wait.
You have multiple chances. Follow Jesus. I like that.
I think there's one good today.
Ew. Hi from Turkey.
So.
All right, baby. What was you liking about the word today?
I thought the word was very good today. The last chapter of Galatians.
Aww.
Galatians 6, man. It's some heat in there.
Well, I like how it. Well, we talked about that a little bit last week. How it's talked about like after the fruits of the spirit and stuff, like helping everybody, helping others, and bearing each other's burdens, and not thinking that you're too important.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, well, it was like, don't be foolish and think you're too important because you are not that important.
Not that important. Hey, that's from God.
Yeah.
Miles,
yeah, we're on our way.
Plans for food, everything.
But yeah, I think because sometimes I think people do kind of act like, oh, it's above them to help certain people, or you know.
I think I've talked to G about that a little bit. Greg, the guy sat next to today, about how like Like you gotta be. You can't overthink yourself, and you always gotta be willing to help. Like you always have to be willing to help, and I think it get tricky because some people like. The biggest thing I took from today was like, it's so cool or so popular. I've been saying this for a while. It's so cool and popular to just be dreary, be sad, be upset about the day. And what I don't like is when I see strong people throw in the towel. Like I see people that put in work, that treat their neighbors well, treat their family well, and then they get to this point like, I'm done, I'm tired, ain't nobody doing this for me, ain't nobody. And I just try to explain like that's part of the suffrage of Christ. If you can learn to find joy in it, because it's not really fun, it's a lot of pain, and just constantly emptying. But I tell people we are connected to the infinite, so you got to be able to really just understand you connected to infinite, and that's what keeps me going, is knowing that I can go till I'm tired. I can do everything I can because I'm connected to the infinite. And once he put his thing on it, it's going to go very, 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 very well. So don't grow weary, as you saw probably in the title. Don't grow weary of right doing. Even considering you might not even see it in your lifetime. That's something that used to stress me out when I was a little younger. I think I was a little bit more selfish-minded. But like now, I'm okay with living in a way that will make the next generation better, like a land that I'll never see, like a land for my grandchildren, for the great example of the differences of culture can be from grandfather to grandson. It's big. I think that's masculinity, man. I think doing God's will as a man and picking up responsibilities that's not yours and just for nothing in return. Like I really feel like that is what masculinity is and what godliness is. And I do think the world is lacking men selflessly helping. Don't go tired. Don't go tired because I don't know, I'm working with connecting with other men doing the same thing to build a brotherhood and a friendship. Because I'm going to be the change I want to see in the world. I'm going to look for other people trying to be similar to that change. Man, that message was good. Y'all gotta go look at the service. It was a fire 30 minutes. You won't regret tuning into one church today. I think the next service about to start at 10:30. It's another one around 12:30.
10:45.
10:45. But man, he was preaching today.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
He was preaching today. Man, what more can I say? So much. I'm always driving when we do this, y'all. I ain't got my notes. But I had a bunch of stuff in the notes in terms of...
Well, you can break down the scripture if you want me to.
Okay.
So we talked about sharing each other's birds, and then the next part was pay attention to your own work, for then you will get the satisfaction of a job well done. And you don't need to compare yourself to what others do. I feel like today's message, the Bible's always practical, but I feel like it was very practical to everyday life. Like, bear each other's burdens. There's always going to be someone around you who needs help and who you can offer help to, and whether they take it or not, that's their business. But being there for them and helping them, and then just paying attention to your own work and the satisfaction of a job well done. We all are, either have jobs or something you're working on or what you're doing. We're all responsible for our own conduct.
Yes.
Can't blame other people or situations. You kind of gotta
say that
do
that
your
point
best.
before just said that last one.
Which one?
The
Pay
one
attention.
before us. Yes.
What I said, or what it said in the Bible?
What they said.
It says, pay attention to your own work, for then you will get the satisfaction of a job well done, and you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else.
Listen, this is very, very challenging in the sense I come from a sports world and sports realm where so much about America is competition, comparing, proving value. But if you do that amidst all of the distractions, you will get your best self. You will get your best self. It happens in everything, especially when you become new at something. So I went from football, I ended up doing insurance. The newest insurance agent in there. People got their techniques, their method, their sales record. You know, and you just sitting on potential. You just sitting on potential, and you can get the biggest thing you're gonna do as a new person is you're gonna get up under somebody that's older, have them show you the ropes, have them teach you the game, some of the processes. Like, this is normal American culture, socialization in just about every field. This happens, whether it's interning, this always happens, but it's very, very important that you always listen to God, because I feel like God might have you there to pick up a skill or a relationship or a connection, not necessarily the activity itself that you participate in. I just think that is very interesting that it's so many different levels. Like, you go to elementary school, you kindergarten, there's a 5th grade, there's always some higher level or expectation that's not you, that's kind of the bar. Like, it's kind of how America is set up, in my opinion. But you have to do you. Like, you really can't get caught up in what everybody else is doing in your city, everybody else is doing in your town. That's how, like, there's a lot of many spheres of influence and circle of influence, but you have, like, it's important.
Is that called the grass?
You might not be good at math.
Yeah, they had an
but
accident.
you need to learn maybe just them fundamentals, you know? Like, I think that was very, very practical to one of my personal things. Mind your business. You know, you can't be, that's kind of a proverb. You can't be.
Well, you also, I like how he talked about, like, God gives us all, like, different gifts and abilities and talents, and yours might look different than somebody else's, or it might seem like, oh, your talent isn't as valuable, but it is.
In the same job.
Yeah. So your talents and abilities are just as important as somebody else's, and understanding that. So focus on what God has given you, and, you know, your sphere of influence, not somebody else's, and not wanting what someone else has in that sense.
Because I think that's what leads to jealousy and envy and improper community, is literally looking at what somebody else got and either lusting for it, coveting it, wanting it, or thinking what you would do with it. And that's not your circle of influence. That's not your life. That's not. Get on your own track. Go ahead.
And it doesn't even always have to be in the sense that you want what they have, but it also, like, devaluing what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes we're our own worst enemy, and we sabotaged what we could do because we're just like, oh, well, someone else is better, so we'll let them do it. Not realizing that our unique presence can affect change too.
Yeah.
So I think can be overcompensating and then also under. You know what I mean?
And it can be stressful. I had a real life situation. Sports again, but we both play running back. Me and my dude Carlin. I was exceptional at, like, he could do things I just could not do. I would go out there, get my little play, run my touchdown, but then when he did his, it wasn't no denying how much more exciting that looked. He did. Listen, we fighting for the same spot, the same position. We both do it different. We both are exceptional in our own ways. But he liked the way I did it, and I like the way he did it. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. You really have to appreciate and marvel at what somebody else can do, and still be able to encourage them, and still be able to, you know, if you ain't the best man for the job, people don't like that. Be willing to be the backup. Be willing to be the next person on deck, because I believe God is watching you in them moments when you don't got exactly what you wanted, or you're not in that position you exactly wanted. I think that's when I think that's the test. God is watching you. Like, are you gonna act up? Are you gonna ease up on the praise? Are you gonna start treating other people worse because you not in? Are you gonna start a mutiny? Are you gonna start gossiping? Like, appointments come from God, promotions come from God, and I think one of the ways He do that is through how you deal with neighbors in situations like that where two people, same area, same kind of do the same thing. How are you treating that person? Because I'm telling you, it was frustrating every time this dude ran. He would run, hit the wrong hole. Didn't matter. It was exciting. He would score. And the coaches looked way more excited for him than me. And I'm trying to play. Like, the coaches are so excited for this dude. And I'm trying to play. Let alone whatever you had going on before, because I definitely thought I was gonna play going in before him, but then you end up on JV on the bench. You ain't told your mama, yeah, you ashamed, you embarrassed, you think you supposed to be something. What the scripture say? You ain't nothing. What the scripture say?
You're not that important.
You're not that important. I'm thinking I'm important. I was the MVP of where I come from. Now I'm on the bench.
But also, like,
somebody shine.
Yeah. But in that, like, something that I've learned in my life, especially from being a teacher, is somebody is always watching you.
Always.
Like, always watching you. When you came in second, somebody watched how you handled that.
Yes.
When you came in first, somebody watched how you handled that. Like, and that affects them and how they react. Like, I teach 9-year-olds, and they have told me multiple times how they now do something because they've seen me do it, or I've had parents say, like, oh, my daughter talks this way with her sister now because of how you talk to the class, or like just little things you do that you don't think anybody notices.
Have influence,
and I think that's part of, like, the don't grow weary. Don't
like,
I know you talked about earlier, like, you hate when you see people doing good who get tired, but like I was actually really excited when you pulled this verse up, because I have pulled this verse up before, because it is hard the right thing, like, especially in a world, or like, I have a lot of very diverse group of friends, especially in college. Like, it's hard to stand on your morals. It's hard to stand firm. It's hard to feel like you're the only one doing the right thing and you're the only one not getting.
Let's say challenging. It's challenging.
No, it's hard.
No, it's hard.
It's hard. And it sucks. Like, it flat out. It's like, it's frustrating. Like, I'm working my butt off. I'm doing everything right.
Look at this heathen.
And look at this person. And again, it is that kind of like that nature of, like, mind your business. Like, I'm looking at someone else and I'm assuming something.
Yeah.
I don't really know all the struggles. And just because they got that then and there doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good for them. So you have to step back, because you're assuming
don't know what they did
things.
To get that. Probably don't even want to go down that road.
Right. But it's hard to, and then, like you said, even if it's not comparing, like, to be loving and kind, to turn the other cheek, it is emotionally draining sometimes. So I definitely, like, this verse, like I said, I was going through a hard time one time, and I found this verse in the Bible, and it really spoke to me, and I think about it sometimes, like, so I think when people go through that, again, bear each other's burdens, like, to have somebody to talk to about that, or to love on somebody when they're going through that, can be very important and very uplifting. Somebody in your chat thanked you for wearing your seatbelt.
Oh yeah. They definitely be worried about my driver's safety. I got a good crowd on the custodial Christian. These people got more sense than the real McCoy TV's channel. They do.
Well,
they got a lot more sense.
Makes sense. But yeah, today's message was really good. I thought it hit on a lot. And I like when Pastor gets all emotional, and he shared some stuff about his family and friends. I feel like he's been talking about racism a lot this year. Since about the new year, and talking about, he's been relating it to culture. Don't leave me with this.
I'm gonna just start the pump.
Oh, what am I gonna do?
All right, y'all. I'm gonna have to check out. Y'all, for a minute. All right, I gotta pump gas and all that. But like, the word is today was one of them practical ones. And I got like a dozen of them since I've been at one church that I can just literally use, or in the broad clarity, or in the broad understanding to this world that I'm in. Pray every day. You got to stay prayed up. I can't get to the comments now. You said I look like I just got done eating lunch. I used to like Schoolboy Q. I used to listen to that. Man of the Year when I graduated college. That was my graduation track. I was banging like crazy. But yeah, we can't grow weary. Because we need these people that's going to stand up every day, devoted every day to bringing God's kingdom on earth. And it is. It's not only... No, I'm gonna put the wrong card in him. Yeah, like white people saying, with me, I don't know. I grew up, I had to do a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do, so I'm very conditioned to being selfless in the sense where if chores need done, do it. People need help, do it. And I'm telling you, it paid off. Like, I look up 20 years later, like the favor that God bless us, my family, with, the love, the community that I didn't think was possible coming up is alive and well, and being around other parents that I have admiration for, respect for, agree with their parenting strategies and processes. Like, I think that's a blessing to not be surrounded by having to constantly fight other cultures with my sons. I have like-minded people in that sense, but we view the world this way. You know, we show love this way. This is how you do it. I'm struggling at the pump right now. I wonder if I'm out of monies. Show me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to taking all day at this pump. I'm gonna have to get with y'all after the pump. But yeah, that word was great. I think I'm gonna go re-listen to it immediately. Let it sink in. Like, we can't grow weary doing well, and then you just gotta push forward. It ain't gonna be fun all the time. Man, this pump did not want to give me no gas today. Yeah, that was hard. And I think I parked too far from the pump. Let me see if I can peek my notes real quick. Yeah, so one of the things I wrote down on here was, like, Paul was so influential at the time that, imagine being so influential that people would circumcise themselves. Like, that's crazy, right? But I think like, especially in this culture, in this era, in this new America, like, the monkey see, monkey do, people are gaining different influences and culture. And what do we do with that? I think a lot of people overlook their personal influence.
Chicken scratch.
This the chicken scratch. Wifey called my nose the chicken scratch. The chicken scratch. But I thought it was. Go check it out. I think I'm gonna put it in the description. I'm gonna put it in the description. Yeah, and then I'm gonna pray for Joe Ellis He said them chains suck. Shout out to you. I'm gonna pray for Nathan. Just asked the God to twerk. That's crazy. I guess somebody called me a slave. That's crazy. Talked about that. Look, man, go get you some Pastor Greg. Word was fire. He definitely just how it's a better way of living, a better way of looking and approaching life situations, and then the daily grind of life, which you gotta pick up that cross, man. You gotta pick up that cross, carry each other burdens. As if only y'all with nothing else that Galatians bars was talking about. Sometimes you gotta get the table on the other side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta get the other end of the table for your peoples. And then you also gotta be responsible for your own bills. Like, if you got bills, you gotta pay them. And if you made a bed, you gotta sleep in it. And that's what I'm gonna leave with. I'm back with the fam. We about to go get some foods. Over and out. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Area code down below. Put in the comment section your favorite parts of the service or the sermon or even Galatians. I want to keep this conversation going. And I don't know, that felt mad racial. So yeah, definitely I might have to pray for the chat today. But shout out to y'all for coming in the church in the church post-church stream. Yeah, shout out to y'all, man. Get Joe body. Oh, I don't want to get my boy on there. Get Joe body. Move it. Almost. Get your body, but move it. Get your body. Vlam Jr. Let me take a picture of that. Sorry, Vlam. I usually don't report people, but you was going OD in the chat, so I'm gonna holler at you.